One evening in Lindenburg. Lindenburg lies in Central Europe, at the confluence of two rivers, the swift Rothen and the wide Laus. The city has existed for more than 700 years. It was first mentioned in the chronicles of the 14th century as a trading settlement along a caravan route carrying salt and wool. The old town is a network of narrow cobblestone streets where houses stand close together and facades are painted in soft pastels, from pale yellow to mint green. Attics are often adorned with carved wooden gables, and beneath the roofs you can see tiny windows that once housed apprentices. In the main square stands the town hall with its clock tower built in the 15th century. Its bell rings every half hour, a sound heard even in the distant suburbs. Lindenburg loves its trams. Narrow rails wind through the streets, and the old wooden seated cars rattle so loudly that passers-by sometimes turn to look. The Zoom Eck Cafe, where Anton Hoffmann will spend that fateful evening, stands at the corner of Ratshof Street and Mühlenstrasse. The building dates back to the 18th century, once a baker's shop, later a wine tavern. Anton was born in Lindenburg in 1980. His father was a watchmaker, his mother a librarian. From childhood, Anton loved tinkering with wires and light bulbs, and by the time he was in school, he was already fixing desk lamps for neighbors. After trade school, he got a job as an electrician for the municipal utilities department. He worked steadily, without haste, and knew half the town's residents by name. He was no thrill seeker. He preferred a quiet, predictable life. The ones who broke the peace. Marek Vogel, born in 1992 in a small town 20 kilometers from Lindenburg. His father worked at a furniture factory, his mother at a pharmacy. Marek was a capable student, but at 16 he dropped out of school, drawn into poker and sports betting. By 20, he owed several thousand euros and began looking for easy money. Through acquaintances, he met Janek and Peter. Janek Schultz, born 1978 from a border district. In the 1990s, he was a small-time smuggler, later involved in shop robberies. He had already served time for a jewelry store robbery, but was released early for good behavior. Cold, calculating, and skilled at keeping people in fear. Peter Muller, born 1985. Worked as a warehouse loader but often lost jobs due to violent temper and drinking. Not an ideological criminal, but willing to join in on risky jobs for quick cash. In Yannick's crew, he was the muscle. Anton entered Zoom Eck around 7:30 p.m. and ordered apple strudel with mineral water. Clara, the waitress, smiled. The usual? The usual, he replied. 10 minutes later, Marek walked in, wearing a long gray overcoat, out of place for the mild plus 21 degrees Celsius evening. He took a seat in the corner, pulled out his phone, and began typing messages. At 7:48 p.m., Yannick and Peter burst in. "On the floor! Everyone down!" Yannick shouted. Anton noticed Marek wasn't scared, just watching them calmly. And Anton understood. He was the lookout. In the corner behind the counter was an electrical distribution box. Anton bent down as if to pick up a dropped napkin, opened the panel, and with one movement shut off the main breaker. The cafe plunged into pitch black. Screams, clattering dishes, the sound of someone stumbling. "What the?" Peter shouted. Anton grabbed Clara's hand. "Quick, to the back." They slipped through the narrow corridor to the rear courtyard. Two tourists followed. Outside, the tram rattled by, and the evening air was warm. A month later, the trial began. The courtroom smelled of old wood and paper. Witnesses, Clara, the tourists, and the elderly man with the newspaper, described what had happened. CCTV footage confirmed that the lights went out just as Anton was near the electrical box. Yanek's lawyer claimed the gun was just a toy. The judge raised an eyebrow. A toy with which you threatened people? The verdict: Janek Schultz, 8 years in prison. Peter Muller, 6 years. Marek Vogel, 4 years for aiding and abetting. Anton received a letter of commendation from the mayor and a €1,000 award. Spring 2022. Anton was walking down Ratshof Street when he heard, "Mr. Hoffman." He turned. Standing before him was Marek Vogel. Older, wearing a cheap jacket with no trace of the old arrogance in his eyes. "I got out 2 years ago," Marek said. "I'm working at a warehouse now. I just wanted to say thank you." "For what?" Anton asked, surprised. "If you hadn't cut the lights that night, Janek might have lost it. Someone could have died." They shook hands and went their separate ways, each walking along the cobblestones of Lindenburg. Anton walked on, thinking, sometimes even those who once stood on the other side can change. Thank for watching. See you next time.